Tell me what kind of film you'll be most looking forward to seeing. What's the sort of thing that really kind of clicks with you?
I've always been a fan of horror, so I'm hoping we're going to see something scary. But I'm not, exclusively going to be looking for that.
Yeah.
I think I'm just looking for stuff that's got interesting character, something that tells a story, something that's engaging. I think shot variety goes a long way, doesn't it, to keep you engaged?
Yeah.
That's obviously an easy win for anyone who's thinking of entering. But yeah, I think it's really about, does it hold me? It doesn't have to be exciting, it just has to be poetic. It doesn't have to be poetic, what am I talking about? It can be beautiful and engaging for all sorts of reasons.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be thrilling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything can be something that essentially entertains you or emotionally moves you or something, and it can be because it scares you or because it makes you laugh. And I think that's one of the things that we were always excited about with the festival, to take anything and see what we get, and just experience different genres and stories within it. So I was going to ask you what your favourite film of all time is, but I want to ask you what your favourite horror of all time is, and your favourite horror of the last couple of years as well.
Oh wow, okay, so you put me on the spot there.
I've just thrown 3 questions.
I'm a dad, I've got young kids, so we don't get to watch many horror films at home, and usually when it's my time to watch a film, I'm too tired to really get on with it. So if I get to the cinema, I see new stuff. I mean, I suppose the best horror film I saw in the last, can I say 5 years?
Yeah.
It's not a new film necessarily, but it really kind of blew me away and stayed with me, which I think good horror should do, was a film called The Borderlands.
Okay.
If you've heard of this.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
It's a British horror.
Yeah.
It's like a kind of Blair Witch lo-fi found footage style about a couple of Catholic priests who going into a church. They go around churches and sort of trying to debunk so-called miracles.
Right.
And it goes from there. But it's absolutely chilling, and the ending kind of comes out of nowhere, and it's just like, there's things that are so horrifyingly unknown.
Yeah.
And you can't quite explain or understand fully.
Yeah.
That's what this film does.
Okay,
and it was just, I've never haven't had anything quite so scary in a long time.
Really?
So I definitely recommend it if you get a chance to see it, Check it out.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, so that's best, most recent horror film? What else did you ask me?
Favourite film of all time?
Horror, Alien.
Okay, yeah.
Ridley Scott, 79. Never get bored of that.
We all, I've got to stop you there.
Oh, go on.
We all know Aliens is better though.
No. I don't believe that for a second. I think Aliens has got a lot to answer for when it comes to the way the franchise kind of went off the rails.
Yeah.
I think if you left it alone with that one, then it would have been better.
Or if they'd done 3 and had everyone stay alive,
yeah,
it would have been fine, but they didn't.
Let Ripley live.
Yeah.
That would have been.
And Newt and Hicks.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, the original fan favourite plan that never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think they all the films have something to like about them, but I think the first one is the purest one for me. And again, it's the idea of you don't really know where this thing came from, what its purpose is,
we
and
didn't
why it
need
exists.
Prometheus and all of that stuff to kind of fill it out. You're absolutely right. Sometimes there is no need to fill that stuff in. It's irrelevant.
Exactly.
And clearly retroactively made up to fill in another film.
Yeah, and it was Ridley Scott's fault that happened, isn't it, as well? So he's not, without sin. But no, I just think that original Alien is the one that I always go back to. And I think I saw it when I was about 9 or something, probably way too young, on a scratchy old VHS copy that my dad had. And traumatised me, and I never quite got over it. And I think I've been kind of trying to wrestle with it ever since. That's probably why I like that so much.
Great.
What's question number 3?
What's your favourite, what was your favourite film of all time? But is that Alien?
Oh, that is Alien, yeah.
So favourite horror? Can you class
I think
different?
again, it's 70s, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Is probably my favourite horror film, if you take away Alien. Again, I think it's just kind of captured me at the right moment. Again, I was probably about in my early teens when I saw it, and again, it was VHS copy at home. But there's something about the realism of that film and the plausibility of it, and the imagery in that as well, because it's such a lo-fi production, like virtually no budget. But just the sound design and the lighting, because it's all natural lighting, isn't it, I think, if I remember rightly, and it's that final image of the girl screaming on the truck and then Leatherface swirling around the chainsaw in the broad daylight, thinking that could be out there somewhere.
And because often horror stuff is at night time. as well. So the less you see, the scarier it can be. But that one didn't kind of stick with that much, really.
I think it's the idea. If the idea is horrifying enough,
Yeah.
then it works. If you can get away with all the tropes of the lighting style and the, like you mentioned Nosferatu earlier, that kind of expressionistic, chiaroscuro lighting, how you would describe it. You don't need all that to make a good horror, although it does help.
Yeah.
Yeah.